Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I'm here with my TBR video for Sobathon and for Scallywagathon. So I have decided to participate in two concurrent readathons running from May 21st through May 27th. I am intentionally choosing way more books than I will be able to get to because for readathons I like to give myself a lot of options. I will put timestamps in the description in case you are only interested in hearing my TBR for one of those two readathons. So Sobathon is created and hosted by Michaela from My Book Self, Rocky from Blonde with a Book, Samantha from Samantha Reading, Chrissy from the September issue, and Katie from Beasley. And just as it sounds, this readathon is all about reading cry-worthy books. The first challenge is to read a book you've been putting off because you know it will make you too emotional. And for that one, I am choosing The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rudkowski. This is the third book in the Winter's Curse trilogy, and I loved the first two books, but I just haven't been able to work up the courage to read this last one because the second book especially just devastated me, so I'm a little nervous. The second challenge is to read a book that will make you cry from happiness. And my first option for that challenge is I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. This is a contemporary novel about a girl named Desi, and she loves K-dramas. And one day she decides to start approaching her love life as if she were a character in a K-drama, in a Korean drama show. And if you guys have ever seen a Korean drama, you know that that's going to make for some interesting hijinks, and I just think this is going to be so sweet and adorable and charming, and I am personally definitely not an expert on Korean dramas, but there is one that I really love with all my heart, and that is Faith or the Great Doctor. So just my love alone for that show is enough to get me pretty excited about this book. Plus I've heard some really good things about it, and it's also dedicated to anyone who has fallen in love with love through K-dramas. So I think this is just going to be wonderful. My other option is Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. Michaela from My Book Self talks a lot about how wonderful this book's representation is and just what a good story it is. This is about a girl named Willow Dean, and she's nicknamed Dumplin'. She is plus size, she is fat and proud of it, and then she decides to enter herself into a beauty pageant because she's worried that her feelings for a boy are starting to undermine her self-esteem about her body. I think that's a general premise. And again, I'm just really looking forward to getting this one. I think it's going to be really cute but also really important in the story it tells and the representation, so I'm really looking forward to this one. The third challenge is to reread a book that destroyed your emotions. And I'm actually going with a play, and that is Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand. This is the translation by Brian Hooker. I was a mess after finishing it. It was such a beautiful and heartbreaking and just wonderful story about the characters, and I'm really looking forward to reading this, but also just really scared about rereading it. I will also be participating in a group read or reread for The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and that's being hosted by Dane from Dane Reads. I think it might just miss the end of Sobathon, so technically I shouldn't be starting this yet, but I might have to. Although again, I'm not ready to reread this because the last time I read this, I was a hot mess after finishing it, so this is going to be a very emotional week, clearly. The fourth challenge is to read a book under 300 pages. And for that one, I also have two options. The first is The Snow Sister by Emma Carroll. This is a short story about a girl whose sister is gone. I don't know if she has died or what happened, but every Christmas Eve she makes a snow sister in order to remember her sister, and just the backstory alone sounds like it's going to be so emotional. And my other choice is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is Rocky from Blonde with the Books. I think it's one of her favorite books. It might be her favorite book. And this is a classic that I have never read. We didn't read it in school. It wasn't assigned at any point, and I've just never picked it up, but I've always meant to. The fifth and final challenge is to read the group book, and that is The Astonishing Color of After. I don't actually own that one, so I don't think I'll be joining in. Maybe I will pick it up from the library, but at this point I don't think I will be able to read that one. Okay, so moving into my TBR for the Scallywagathon, and it was created by Allie from Hardback Hoarder and Amanda from Read All the Books. The first challenge is Siren Song, a book that has mermaids or sirens. And for that one I'm going with Lorelei by Laura Dockrell. This is a recommendation from Miriam from Between Lines and Life. Challenge number 2 is Scallywag, a book involving a heist or morally gray characters. And for that one, I'm going with The House of the Four Winds by Mercedes Lackey and James Mallory. This is a book about a girl who, I believe, goes onto a pirate ship to learn sword fighting, and then they get assigned this quest from which no ship has ever returned, and I consider that a heist. I first heard about this book from Trisha from Tell Her a Story. She mentioned it in a tag video, and I thought it sounded really interesting. And Mercedes Lackey is a pretty well-known fantasy author, and I've never actually read one of her books, so I'm looking forward to trying that. Challenge number 3 is But Why Is the Rum Gone? A book involving a mystery. And for that one, I am choosing These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a mystery about a girl who, I believe her father dies, and she suspects it's murder, so she teams up with this newspaper boy, or like reporter, and they try to figure out what happened to him. Challenge number 4 is Sail the Seven Seas, book with a fictional world you want to explore. And I chose The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. It just sounds like the most beautiful fairy tale kind of story, and there's like this mysterious forest where people, I think like people are under the impression that they are like sacrificing children to this witch who lives in the forest, but it tells you that the witch actually like takes care of them and like feeds them like starlight or moonlight or something. And there's also a character known as the Perfectly Tiny Dragon, which sounds adorable, so this is definitely a world that I would like to explore. Challenge number 5 is Calm Before the Storm, the first in a series. For that one, I am using The House of the Four Winds because this is the first in, I think it's a companion series that follows all these different daughters of this one king. Challenge number 6 is Treasure Map, a book that has a map in it. And for that one, I am going with The Star of Kazan by Eva Ibbotson. This is one of the few Eva Ibbotson YA or middle grade books that I haven't read. This is like kind of a historical fiction book with a little bit of fantasy, it looks like, and it's set in Russia, I believe, and there is, of course, a map at the front. Challenge number 7 is Sharkbait, a book that has red on the cover. And I'm going with Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is the first book in a very popular science fiction slash dystopian-ish kind of series. And this also counts for challenge number 8, which is Yo Ho Ho, a book that starts with R. Then we have some detour challenges, and challenge A is Marooned, and that is to read a standalone. And for that one, I'm going with The Star of Kazan again. Challenge B is another one that I am doubling up with, and it is Thar She Blows, a book that's exploded with popularity this year. Could be old or new release. And I'm using Red Rising again because even though the series is just like pretty consistently popular, I feel like it's especially gotten a resurgence because it was just announced that the whole series is going to be extended, so I want to get on that bandwagon. Challenge C is Walk the Plank, a book you've seen someone unhaul. For that one, I'm going with Wolf by Ryan Groudon. This is like an alternate universe World War II novel where Hitler has won the war, and our main character is a girl who used to live at a death camp, and then she gets recruited by this like underground kind of mission, and her mission or her directive is to win this motorcycle race and kill Hitler. I really like historical fiction, and I'm interested to see how this premise is handled because it sounds like it could be a fantastic book or a really bad handling of an important topic. And getting onto the back on track challenges, number 9 is Blow Down the Man, a book by a woman author. And honestly, pick one of most of the books I've shown. I read a lot of female authors, so that one I'm definitely going to meet. And finally, challenge number 10 is Landlubber, a book with a character who is unlike you. Race, religion, or sexuality are the examples given. And my choice for that challenge is The Authentics by Abdi Nazemian. This is a contemporary novel, and it follows the main character of Daria, who is Iranian American and Muslim, and I am white and Catholic, so this book definitely counts, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It seems like it's going to be a book about friendship and self-discovery and culture and how your background affects how you see the world and who you are, and I'm just really looking forward to this book. So who knows how many of these books I'm going to get to, but I am excited about all of them, so I've got lots of good options here. Please comment down below and let me know if you guys are participating in any of these readathons, and let me know if you have read any of the books I mentioned and what you thought of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!